2024 tax season child independent care expenses. Welcome back, everyone. So very happy to have you back for another IRS update. Let's go ahead and get started. You may be able to claim the child independent care expense if you pay someone to care for your dependent who is under the age of 13, or for your spouse or dependent who isn't able to take care of themselves. The credit can be up to 35% of your employment-related expenses. To qualify, you must pay these expenses so you or your spouse, if filing jointly, can work or look for employment. There is a dollar limit on the amount of work-related expenses you can claim. The limit is $3,000 if you had one qualifying person, or $6,000 if you had two or more qualifying persons. The dollar limit is yearly. The amount of the dollar limit remains the same no matter how long during the year you had a qualifying person in your household. You can claim the credit if you meet the requirements. You must meet the qualifying person test. The care must be for one or more qualifying persons who are identified on Form 2441. You can find all forms on irs.gov. Also, the earned income test. You and your spouse, if filing jointly, must have earned income during the year. Next, we have work-related expense test. You must pay child independent care expenses so you or your spouse, if filing jointly, can work or look for work. You must make payments for child independent care to someone you and your spouse cannot claim as a dependent. If you make payments to your child, for instance, including stepchild or foster child, he or she cannot be your dependent and must be age 19 or older by the end of the year. You cannot make payments to a spouse or the parent of your qualifying person if your qualifying person is your child and under the age of 13. Joint return test. Your filing status may be single, head of household, or qualifying survivor's spouse. If you are married, you must file a joint return unless an exception applies. Provider identification test. You must identify the care provider on your tax return. If you exclude or deduct dependent care benefits provided by a dependent care benefit plan, the total amount you exclude or deduct must be less than the dollar limit for qualifying expenses. Like we mentioned earlier, $3,000 for one qualifying person, $6,000 if you had two or more qualifying persons in your household. Now, who is a qualifying person? A qualifying person is your qualifying child who is your dependent and who was under the age of 13 when the care was provided, your spouse who wasn't physically or mentally able to take care of themselves and live with you for more than half of the year, or a person who wasn't physically or mentally able to take care of themselves, live with you for more than half of the year, and either was your dependent or would have been your dependent except that he or she received gross income of $4,700 or more, or he or she filed a joint return, or you or your spouse, if filing jointly, could be claimed as a dependent on someone else's 2023 tax return. Now, here is this chart to help you see if you qualify for the child independent care expenses. You can go through it, answer all of the questions. You can also do it on the irs.gov website. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more 2024 tax season updates. Bye-bye.